What's up, guys? Welcome back to class. So today we're going to go ahead and we're going to start with our warm-up. Our warm-up is going to be this X pattern footwork as we do our angles 1 through 4. All right, so we're going to start off with the right hand. Step first with the left foot, angle 1, back to the center, angle 2. Now we're going to cut through, angle 3, and then other side, angle 4. So we've got our reverse triangle with 1 and 2, and then with the 3 and 4 we have our forward triangle. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And let's just flow with this drill a little bit. Getting our warm up, arms are moving. And now if you want, you can go off of that center line, getting a little bit more space. Or if you want, you can just stay right there on that center line, working on getting your switches a little bit faster. I don't quite remember if I've covered this, but this footwork right here is really just like a hop step if you've ever done any more traditional styles. So either the front foot goes to the back and then the back foot moves, or the back foot to the front and then the front foot moves. Just try not to step with the front, come up, and then step with the front again. That's called telegraphing. So just try not to do that. It's just an extra step. Just 1, 2, 1, 2. No need for a small step and then your big steps. Now keep it going. Same side. 4. Alright, now let's go ahead and let's change hands. Do the same thing, other side. Step with the right first, strike 1 with the left. 2. Cut through. 3, 4. Cut through. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. Try to focus on that blade edge orientation whenever you're doing those, especially your 3 and your 4. Keep that pattern going. Unfortunately, I am kind of close to an airport. Well, I did find this nice secluded spot to train. It's nice. Hard to find in Miami. A few more. Alright. Let's take a breath in and out. And try twist. Oh, I got a few good pops. And let's go ahead, let's just reach across and up and do a few windmills. Do a little hamstring mode. And arm circles, nice and big. Other direction. Alright, so the first thing that we're going to learn today is we're going to learn single Sinawali. So single Sinawali, it's usually done with a partner, but if you don't have a partner, I don't have a partner today, so we're going to do it alone. So the way that this pattern works is we're going to have our high lines, which are going to be a horizontal strike, and then as we come down to our knee strike, these are going to be broken strikes. So remember, a broken strike hits and bounces back as opposed to a fluid strike, which just cuts all the way through. So our top strikes are fluid. Bottom strike is broken. Bring it back, fluid, broken. Forehand fluid through the head, down to the knee, backhand broken, bounces back. Backhand fluid to the head, down to the knee, bounces back. So it's 4 counts, 2, 3, 4. High, low, high, low. Go through, high, low, high, low. Now if you want, if you're all alone, you can imagine that I'm your partner, and we're gonna clack sticks here, strike and bounce back, clack sticks, strike and bounce back. So we're through the top, down, through the top, down. 1, 2. Now, one of the big things that I see, keep practicing this pattern, when people do this, especially if they really haven't been taught, and even sometimes when they've been taught, is they start to go here, and they do this windshield wiper here type motion, right? And they're just kind of going through and doing this. Strike through, keep that blade edge, chamber it, strike, chamber it, right? So don't just windshield wiper after this, boom, boom, right? Even from the side. See how it's not going over? I can hit here and hit here. And now I can still even here keep the blade edge, but I want chamber, right? 1, 2, 1, 2, instead of just kind of going through it. You see it never actually goes over to my shoulder chamber, it just windshield wipers, right? So keep that in mind whenever you're doing this. Strike, 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 strike. Fluid, broken, fluid, broken, fluid, broken, fluid, broken. All right, so now let's go ahead, let's change legs, and let's do the same thing with the other hand, all right? You know me, I like to do everything with both hands. Strike, fluid, broken down low. Fluid, chamber, broken. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Keep that pattern. 1, 2. Turn the hips. 3, 4. Hip. 1, 2. Hip comes back. 3, 4. So each one of these have a hip turn, right? Just like we're not windshield wipering because it's weak, we're not just using our arms like this, right? Keep that pattern going. Deep strike. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do one more on the side. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so now one thing that you can do, and what's really cool about this is you can do this left-handed while somebody else does it right-handed, right? And you can still clack sticks. The only difference is now if you're doing it with your left hand, I'm doing it with my right hand. When I do that forehand, you're doing a backhand, right? That's the only difference. Just make sure that you're clacking sticks. But because we can do this just like that, we can easily change hands and keep this pattern going, right? So we're going to do half of the drill now, but we're gonna have a hand change on every second count, right? So I'm going to strike 1 through, 2 strikes down, and now I'm gonna come back. And just like we did our hand changes after our strikes here, the hand that's receiving opens up, that L right on top, and then we just pass it, just like that. So we're gonna go 1, strike 2 as it bounces back, it comes right back to the hand. Switch legs, 1, 2, 1, 2. Bounce back, pass it into the other hand, switch the legs, 1, 2. Now it's happening on that bounce back, and that's when this leg comes in, and then I step with that strike, 1, 2. That way I can get my leg switch as I'm doing this. 1, 2, 1, 2. Let's go ahead and get a little bit of hips in each one of these. So it's kind of like our reverse triangle, a little bit more straight line though than the reverse triangle. All right, but the footwork idea is still the same. I'm going back and then I step forward. Keep that pattern going. All right, now, while you're doing this, I want you watching me, ideally striking at the same time as me. So you're going to keep doing that exact same thing, switching each time, and I'm just gonna do the standard, right? So it's single sin wall. Start with your right hand first, strike, so we make contact, and we strike low. Now you should switch, but I'm just gonna strike again. Strike low, and you switch again. After each one of these low ones, I want you switching. But if you're going along with me at the same pace as me, you'll notice that each time we should be connecting with the sticks. You shouldn't be following my stick or mirroring it. We should be hitting sticks, right? Flashing through and striking. Flashing through and striking. Now keep going. I want you focusing on imagining that you're hitting sticks. Now, if you have a partner with you, even better. Don't even worry about what I'm doing. Just listen to me talk, I guess. Right? And then practice this along with your partner. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and you keep doing the same thing. I'm gonna switch, right? And now you notice if you're still focusing on me and going at the same pace as me, we should still be clacking sticks, even though I did switch and you're switching every time. I'll slow it down in case I'm going a little bit too fast. All right, so I want you to get that concept that you can really be able to switch hands in this drill and it shouldn't mess up anything, right? So now I'm gonna show you another hand switch from this same drill. Now this one is gonna be right after our number 1 strike or our number 3 strike, right? In this, not our 1 and our 3, but our first and third counts of this drill. Remember, it's a 4-count drill. So after my first count, so I make contact here, I can pass it right into my hand, switch, strike low, right? And then I can do the same thing in, strike through, and I'm passing it right in here, and strike low. Strike through and pass, and strike low. So the first time we did it off the backhand, bounce back, right? The backhand low, bounce back. We did our hand switch. Now we're going through the forehand, cut through. And that's our hand switch. And we go low forehand, bounce back, forehand cut through, switch. Low forehand, bounce back. Forehand cut through and switch. Now make sure you go through the target, low. High and switch, low. Strike through, strike. Strike, strike. Strike high and switch, low and bounce back. High and switch, low and bounce back. And again, same thing applies. You can just be doing the standard 4-count on one hand, and we should be making contact every single time that we do this. Let's get the same pace. I know sometimes I like to start speeding it up. You can speed it up with me if you can still keep good form. If you can't, well then yell at me to slow down and I'll probably hear you and listen. Yes, that's definitely what will happen. All right, back to the 4-count, right? So we did 2 variations already. Let's go back to the beginning one. One hand, right hand first. High line through, low hand back, bounce back. High through, low bounce back. High through, low bounce back. High through, low bounce back. Keep it going. And now when I say so, we're gonna switch. Ready? Switch. And now if you didn't get the switch at the exact moment I said switch, that's fine. Because I'm gonna go into this, pick one of the 2 switches. Try to do a different one each time. Try not to do the same one. Switch. I'll slow it down, I know, sorry. If I'm going too slow though, you should also tell me that. Switch. 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 Watch me, try to stay with me. Switch. switch. If you really pay attention, you notice I didn't switch that time. That doesn't matter, right? Because you can switch and keep doing the same drill. Switch. It should not matter. And that's one of the things I really want you to be able to take home from this. We've got 2 hand switches. And then our baseline drill. Right? And there's other things you can do from this drill. People like to break in, people like to do finishing moves, they like to do disarms, whatever, right? I'm just going to teach you this very beginning basic motion. So if you ever go someplace, this is a pretty common one. I think a lot of Arnis guys like this one. I think that's really the only place I've seen this is in Arnis styles, right? So just going to keep that in mind. I like to teach a bunch of different ways. Switch for different styles of Kali, Eskrima, Arnis. To me, it's all the same. I use the term Kali, but sometimes they are a little bit different and they can be a little picky, or they just kind of prefer one thing over the other, right? And so if you do go to Arnis school, chances are you're probably going to see this exact drill. All right, switch. 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 Make up the pace. Keep the good integrity. Switch. Switch. All right. Take a breath. Hopefully you got that down. Again, 3 things that we covered was literally just our baseline drill, 4 counts, and then we did the switch off of the bounce back, the low bounce back, and we did a switch off the high forehand cut. All right, so just those are our 2 switches. Try to remember those. All right, so the next thing that we're gonna do is I'm gonna teach you a 6 count pattern, all right? We're not gonna do any footwork. This is gonna be a Sumbrada pattern. A Sumbrada drill is literally just a block counter, right? So blocking something, countering, blocking something, countering. And there's a bunch of variations of Sumbrada drills. So this one, sometimes I call it a 3 count Sumbrada, sometimes I call it a 6 count. Sometimes it's just called a high box, right? There's a lot of different variations of these. So just learn these and then you'll learn some more. And then they kind of all just mesh together at some point and then you just kind of play around, and it helps for sparring because it's literally just a block followed by a quick counter and then it continues. So it's a good way to learn blocks. I prefer this over the standard, learn this pattern, block this thing, right? I feel like these can be a little bit more free-flowy and better for training purposes. All right, so let's go ahead and let's learn it first. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna start off with a block, and then we're gonna counter. All right, so the first block that we're gonna do is going to be this point up, right? Block, just like this. So I usually like to support the hand as I'm doing this, and then we're going to strike this horizontal plane of motion. So this one's going to go towards the belly as you do it. So it's going to be block, strike. All right. So just learn again the blocking patterns as we're doing this. They're all just simple block and then a follow-on strike. So it's going to be block, turn the body, get behind the stick, and then we're just going to go right here. And now this is going to be a broken strike, going right to the midline on this. You could do this down to the knee. You could do this up higher. It doesn't really matter when you're actually flowing with a partner. But until you get to that point, just learn it here, here. We're just going to practice one part. Turn and block. Turn and get behind it and strike. Block. Now when you're blocking this, the tip of the stick should be at least to the head height. If you're down here and you're blocking and you thought it was going low but it goes high, well then you just got hit in the face and that's not a good time for you. Your partner might have a good laugh. Alright, so block, support the wrist as you do this. Counter, middle line. Block, counter. Block, counter, block, counter, block, counter. Keep this going. Alright, so the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to go block, counter to the midline, and notice, remember how it was a broken strike? It wasn't a fluid strike, not going all the way through. From here, we're gonna do a roof block. So a roof block looks like this, right? So we did this one whenever we were practicing our Sinawalis, right? Here. So 1, block, strike, block high, and now you can use the other hand. You can support if you want, support in the wrist for a stronger block, or later on we'll get into stop blocks where we come in and we're using our hand to help stop as we block, all right? So we're just going to the roof block here. So let's drill that out. 1, point up. 2, strike to the midline. 3, roof block. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Now I am doing a little bit of stepping with this. You'll feel these steps when you're working with a partner where you should be. If you feel too jammed up, well, you're probably too close and you should step off to the side. But a lot of time I step slightly to the side. I'm doing this first one. I step in as I'm doing the second one, and then that front leg that stepped in steps off to the side as I do my third one. All right? 1, 2, 3. 1, point up. 2, horizontal to the belly. 3. All right, now 4 is going to come around and we're going to strike. This one's going to the head, and this is what the first movement is blocking, right? So I'm going to strike this horizontal strike, right? So you can think of it at our 13 counts. This is going to be our number 3, right? So just that horizontal plane of motion. It could go to the shoulder or it can go to the head depending on where you want to strike. They should be able to block both of those with this one. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So bring the tip around, strike. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, block their strike. 2, strike them. 3, block. 4, strike. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I want you to visualize it. They're striking at me. Boom. I blocked. Now I strike. Right? They blocked. Now I block. Now I strike, and now they block. Again, they blocked with that first one. Alright, so 5 is going to be a block, right? So if you're a person, I don't know, this can be person 1 or person 2. Let's assign this to person 1 is blocking first, right? So person 1 on evens, not evens, odds, on odd numbers, blocking. On even numbers, they're striking, right? So person 1, even number, blocks. 1, odd number, blocks. Man, evens, odds, I can't. I've been out of school for a while. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, 5, what we're going to do, we're going to flip over. Boom. And now, I like to step, boom, back. Not quite a triangle step here, but more a step to the side and then back, because this one can go towards the belly, which we're doing now, but it can also easily go down towards the leg, right? So I like to get that leg out of the way as I'm doing this block. So again, 1, block. 2, strike. 3, block. 4, strike. 5, block, right? So we're blocking that second strike. So 1, 2, that one right there to the belly. That's what we're blocking with this one, right? So we're going here, we're blocking that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, now because I really want to finish this drill so we can work it together. From 5, boom, raise up, 6, strikes down. All right, so 5, 6, right on top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, on top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. What's after 3? I forgot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm gonna be honest, it's a lot harder for me doing these without a partner. A lot of times I don't think about these anymore. We just kind of flow between a whole bunch of them. So having to actually think in this pattern without somebody striking at me is a little bit more difficult. So maybe once you get it this way, it'll be even easier to transition over to having a partner. Let's hope so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so now what's gonna happen, you and me are gonna work together. You're gonna do the exact same thing, starting the same way. So you're gonna be person 1, I'm gonna be person 2. So now what's gonna happen is I'm actually gonna start off at 4. All right, so count number 4, which was this one. I'm gonna go 4, 5, 6, right? Or 4, 5, 6, and then I go 1, 2, 3, right? So I strike the first one and you block, all right? Before we do that, without me going, I want you to practice it one more time on my count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I'm gonna show you it one more time just in case. I want you knowing this so that you can do it, right? 1, block. 2, belly strike. 3, roof block. 4, strike. 5, wing strike. All right, point down. 6, on top of the head. All right, now you're gonna have to do it without me. I'm gonna be striking at you, so if you don't know what you're doing, just look at me striking at you and block. So we're using our right hand here. 1. All right, so now you should block with that point up. And then you're gonna come to that belly. I'm gonna flip it over. 2, I'm blocking in here. Now I raise up. 3, you do that roof block, right here. And now you're gonna come around, striking this way. 4, I'm doing 1 now. 5, 6, you're striking straight down. And then we reset. You have point up block. 1. And now you're gonna go towards the belly, backhand. 2. Now I'm gonna go strike top, you roof block. 3, 4, 5, now you point down. And then all the way up, raise it down, and strike on the top of the head. 6, reset. 1, 2, 3, strike me. 4, block. 5, point down. 6, strike down. Block, point up. 1, strike to the belly. 2, block, roof block. 3, 4, strike. 5, block, point down. 6, strike. All right, you got it down. A few more times. Ready? And 1, you block. 2, you strike. 3, you block, roof block. 4, you strike. 5, you block. 6, you strike. Again. 1, you block. 2, you strike. 3, roof block. 4, you strike. 5, you block, point down. 6, you strike. Switch hands. We're gonna do it with the other hand. Yeah. Yeah. All right, let's go. Ready? Other leg switches. Point up. 1, 2, 3, roof block. So now you're doing the exact same thing as me, right? 4, bring it around, strike. 5, point down, block. 6, raise up, strike to the top of the head. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, block, tip to the top of the head, 1 up. 2, to the belly. 3, roof block. 4, bring it around, strike. 5, tip down. 6, strike down on top of that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6, and one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, now we're gonna work together. Okay? You're gonna do the exact same thing. So practice it once without me, and then I'll review it one more time just in case, because I know left hand can be weird sometimes for some people. So strike 1, block 2, strike 3, block 4, strike 5, block 6. Ready? 1, you block. 2, you strike to the belly. 3, you block root block. 4, you strike. 5, you block. Tip down. Right. Come up, and 6, I block. Strike straight down to the head. Again. 1, 2, you strike and belly at me. I block it. 3, I go to the top of the head. You do a root block. 4, you strike at me. I block. 5, to the belly. Point down block. 6, right to the top of the head. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, you block. 2, you strike. 3, you block. 4, you strike. 5, you block. 6, you strike. Again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so homework time. Find somebody, if you did not have somebody, to practice this drill with. Teach them the drill the same way I taught you. So teach them 1 through 6, count it out, and then you're gonna start at 4 and they're gonna start at 1, and you're gonna practice this drill with them. It should be, after you get them to learn it, it should be a little bit easier, honestly, than just doing it on your own, because you only have to remember a few things and they kind of flow together with some of these. Now, when you're working this, don't go so hard that your partner doesn't actually want to work with you. And then these are mostly just broken strikes, right? Because we're working with a partner, we're not going all the way through with all of these strikes like we would be. And that's okay, right? Because we're trying to just, when we practice, we want to just really focus on each individual block counter, right? So that was, 3 and 4, what I just did, block counter. And that's how it would be in a more realistic scenario. Or 1 and 2, block counter, right? I'm hitting their block and then I'm striking back, right? That's what's gonna be happening in a sparring scenario, is just that one. We're not gonna be going through all of these blocks and counters constantly. It doesn't work like that in sparring. You have one block and then you usually do a counter, and then maybe you do an extra counter after that, right? That's more of a realistic scenario. This is just to help you practice a block followed by a counter. Right? It's to get that motion more ingrained in you. So don't sit here and rip through all of these. You don't have to do that. Right? Just focusing on being able to block and being able to counter quickly. Be able to block, be able to counter quickly. Be able to block, be able to counter, right? And that's what these are. They're just blocks followed by some sort of quick counter. So find somebody to do this with. And then after you find somebody to do this with, record a video and tag me in it on Instagram, right? My Instagram is down, probably over there. No, actually, no, it's probably gonna be over there. So tag me on Instagram in it. I wanna see if you actually did it, right? And then comment on the video, like, subscribe. Definitely comment, all right? I don't get enough comments. I want more comments. So do that, and right there.